Genesis 2 is not another creation story. In fact, it's more of a zoom in. Genesis 1 is the wide shot, where Genesis 2 gives us more of a close shot. On the seventh day, God rested. Now, the word for rest in the Bible is Shabbat. I'm sure you've heard the word Shabbat, but Shabbat doesn't mean tired. Shabbat actually means that he stopped. Creation was complete. Nothing missing, nothing broken. God rests before humans work. Now that means that rest comes before productivity. But that's not how we do things. Now as we continue on, we can see that it hadn't rained yet. There was nobody to cultivate the ground. The Hebrew word for ground is Adamah, and humans are Adam. So when you say the phrase Adam was made from Adamas, you're saying earthlings are made of earth. Not gods, not machines, just dirt with breath. The Hebrew word used for breath here is neshama, and neshama means more like your soul. Humanity isn't alive when it's shaped. It gets its life when God breathes into it. You're animated dust, and that explains a lot. Now God plants a garden in Eden, and he puts Adam over the garden to keep it. But Adam doesn't build the garden. He's placed into something already complete. And this is good. We can see that God provides before he assigns responsibility. And this really just speaks to his love. Now, in the garden, there's two special trees. Obviously, there's the tree of life, and then the one everybody knows, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. God gives one command, just one. There's freedom everywhere, but with one boundary. Now that's not control, that's trust. And then God says something shocking. He says it's not good for man to be alone. I'll cover that a little bit more on a short today. Now this is before sin. So we can see that loneliness wasn't a punishment for Adam. It was a problem that God needed to solve. In the garden, God brought all of the animals to Adam to name them. Naming in Hebrew usually gives you authority over something, just like a father who names his son. But another thing to note is the animals were extremely peaceful and cohabitated at this time. So they weren't working. Adam's looking at all these animals and he's like, oh, cool. I'm still alone. And I like to think that Adam got really excited in the beginning. And he's like, rhinoceros, hippopotamus. And then at the end, he's like, okay, cat, bat, rat. But anyway, God caused Adam to fall under a deep sleep. And he formed the woman from the rib from his side. And this is very clear from his side. It's not from his head to rule over him or his feet to be beneath him. It's from his side. As in, women were meant to be equal partners in a godly relationship. In fact, when Adam awakes, he literally says, bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh. That's love. That's recognition. That is pure poetry. A man leaves his father and mother and is united with his wife. They were naked in the garden. They felt no shame. They were in the presence of God's miracle. But as we all know, that doesn't last. Genesis 2 shows us what humanity was supposed to be. Very clearly formed, breathed into, provided for, and then not left alone. Now, Genesis 3, unfortunately, is where it all breaks. And yeah, that's tomorrow. This has been Bible in 10 minutes or less. I'll catch you in the next one.